are you?
I'm Megan.
Find out more at Eclipse Cinemas.
Time to join our man at the movies, Collie McFadden, with the very latest from Eclipse Cinemas up there in Bundoran. A very good afternoon to you on this blustery, windy day. How is it up in Bundoran?
Blow the clapping off you, wouldn't it? It is fairly blustery. You know, one of the joys of Bundoran, one of the reasons the surfing is great here, is it's so exposed. But there are days like today you walk outside and go, wow. that is pretty blustery out there. But you know, we four walls and a roof still, just about, and we're feeling good about it. And we've lots of, you know, nice warm comforts for you inside.
You have some exciting movies this week.
We do.
Yes, big change too.
As I said last week, you know, it is January has traditionally been the black spot of movies for the movie companies, but because of COVID, because of all the delays, I think this is a particularly interesting month where we have a little bit of something for everyone, which you know is my favorite. Yeah. So I think we'll start. I think the big hitter is going to be the sort of creepy horror behind me. And it's here behind me in the video. I was waiting for you to say I have a creepy face looking at me, and Collie has a picture of a doll behind him as well. I think Megan is going to be the big hit, but I have yet to see it. So let's start with a movie we talked a little bit about last week, which is Sam Mendes, who made American Beauty, made all the Bond movies, and it kind of his love letter to the cinema. It's called Empire Light. It opened on Monday, and I think you have a little clip to play us before I tell you all about it.
Film. It's just static frames with darkness in between. But there's a little flaw in your optic nerve. So if I run the film at 24 frames per second, it creates an illusion of motion, an illusion of life. So you don't see the darkness. Out there, I just see a beam of light. And nothing happens without light.
This looks absolutely fantastic. It looks great, and it's Olivia Colman.
Well, yeah, it's Olivia Colman. You know, you had me at that. Although I just found out when I was putting something on Facebook, I've been spelling her name incorrectly for about 10 years. There is no E in Olivia Colman. So, talk about preaching to the choir. This is about a cinema in a seaside town. Tick, tick, tick. A lot of it is about the early 80s with those big, wide cinema lobbies. And even the way the bags of sweets, and you're going, oh, we don't do those anymore. But I remember that. The music, it's set in Margate in about 1981. And all the staff, you know, one of the assistants is dressed like Toya, but the staff start listening to ska and Rude Boy. They're listening to the Specials. You know, and we just lost Terry Hall and all that sort of stuff. And I'm going, oh, I love this.
I'm into this. Yeah.
But really what it about, like, it is so Olivia Colman's movie. She plays a woman, and I read a quote, I was reading a review afterwards, and they said her eyes dart between hope and desperation. And I went, that's it. I wish I was that clever to come up with a phrase like that, because she's someone who's clearly had some troubles in the past, is trying to put them behind her. And she's kind of she's the duty manager in the cinema. She holds everything together, but you can see she's fragile yet hopeful. And she hopes for a better day. And a young black man called Stephen starts working. And he's a good few years younger than her. But they seem to have a connection that they're not sure if everyone will approve of. Now, I have to say, this is one of the most beautiful looking movies I've seen in a long time. Everything about it is just gorgeous. from the, you know, the beautiful scenes of you saw there that they're celebrating New Year's Eve up on the roof and the fireworks in the background, to when they start watching movies and they're using projectors that I have never used because I'm all the digital age since I started working.
It's
But
proper
those
film,
old
yeah.
projectors where they had to switch the reels and it just everything just looks so gorgeous, to the little details that there are, you know, there are some upsetting scenes because not everything goes well. There's a scene where somebody is having a bad time. I don't want to give too much away, but even down to the fact you notice that there's lipstick on her teeth, something that would never happen if she was feeling okay. That little faded glamour. She's dressed up, but she's not. A bit like the cinema itself. It's a big 6-screen cinema, or 8-screen cinema, I think, but they're only using 2 of the screens anymore. It's all about faded glory, and but the hope that someday it will come back. As you can hear, I loved it, and I was absolutely flabbergasted when I came out to realize it didn't really. The reviews have been quite mixed, but then I did the bit where I looked at the audience reviews and the critic reviews, and for the second week in a row, because Otto did not go down that well with the critics either last week. It's been packed all week, Shamey. I thought I was going to be the outlier when I said to you last week I thought this was great and people should go and see it. But I wasn't sure if they would because it was January and maybe it's not the time for it. I thought it was. It's been a big hit all week. The boss was texting going, I'm pleasantly surprised about Otto. And I think this is another one that maybe if you've watched 1,000 movies about cinema, maybe you do go, yeah, it's beautiful, but maybe the story's not so good. I haven't. And I fell in love with this from the opening scenes and the massive packets of Maltesers. And it reminded me, my cinema as a kid would have been the classic in Terranure, and then for big occasions, the Savoy Cinema in O'Connell Street. And I saw a lot of, like, I saw Jaws and stuff in those movies when I was way too young. Dad, what were you thinking? Bringing me to see Jaws. And that sort of, it is nostalgic, but beautiful and hopeful. And like all the best nostalgia, it's about the past, but it's also about today. I absolutely loved it, and I think you'd love it too, Shamey.
I hope so too. Well, I think so because I mean I'll watch anything with Olivia Colman in, and from the commercial or for the ad I seen anyway. Michael Ward is the co-star, and he looks great in this.
He is brilliant, and I wasn't familiar with his work. Apparently, he's a big star in Top Boy on Netflix, and he's well known, and he's charismatic and charming. And even though there's a bit of a May to December romance in it, you don't go. It's not like sometimes, and as much as I love Harrison Ford, you go, she is far too young for you, sir. But you can understand why they would get the connection. Loved it, and she is so good. She is
but if you have good stars in a film, people like good movies. People want to go and see good people in movies, and that's it.
Who would have thought?
Yeah,
good movies, good stars. People will go.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to my night in the movies tonight. I'm going to see Otto tonight. Anyway, that's another story. Come here. This is not a doll I would like for Christmas, but looks like a hit movie. Yeah,
you just reminded me that I being from Dublin, it didn't occur to me, but we should really advertise this as she's some doll, hey? Up in this part of the world. I can't believe that I forgot that on Facebook. So this is a new movie from the people who made The Black Phone and Annabelle, which is also about a haunted doll. And so, but in this one, and it looks very clever and funny. So there's this toy called M3gan. And it's this kind of robot girl assistant. So imagine AI meets Chucky the doll. So she's meant to help everyone. And there's a young girl who's just been orphaned, and they give her the prototypes to help her to be her companion. And M3gan really loves this girl. As a matter of fact, she loves her so much she will do anything to protect her. And this looks like great fun in that sort of purposely campy, tacky horror sort of time. You were saying you saw the trailer, and I know you're not a big horror fan, but you got about you like that. It looked good, didn't it? Yeah. It's clever, and they've just, I think it's all CGI, but they've made just the proportions of the body or something different. So the way she moves is creepy, and her face and her eyes, they're both expressionless and brilliant at the same time. There's a bit in Jaws where Quint talks about the shark, looking the shark in the face and goes, he's soulless eyes, got doll's eyes, no emotion.
Doll's eyes.
Yeah, doll's eyes. And that's what I was thinking watching the trailer for this. I think this is going to be a big hit. I think all the teenagers are going to come and scream the house down this weekend, which is all part of, do you know what I was saying about Empire of Light? that wonderful cinema experience, for everything about watching beautiful landscapes and beautiful movies and emotional stories. It's also about teenagers screaming the house down. It was always part of cinema.
It's
And
great.
I think this looks like great fun. I think this is going to be a hit. And we've had great
Absolutely.
fun. Especially, and I give a shout out to our assistant manager here at the cinema. It's called Megan, and we've had so much fun with it already.
And come here, when's that open? When's that open?
That opens tomorrow.
Oh,
As
Megan,
does, I must mention as well, we've The Amazing Maurice, which is a new family movie. And I would have been a big Terry Pratchett fan. Now, I read a lot of his slightly older books, and Good Omens is one of my all-time top 10 books of all time. And this is one of his stories about the world's most amazing cat, and voiced by Hugh Laurie. Again, the voice cast are brilliant. And he has all these rats under his command. You know, it's been a while since, probably Matilda's the last family movie we've had, which doesn't seem like long ago because it was Christmas, but it's actually about over a month since we had it. So that looks like really good fun. And actually, speaking of family movies, one of the greatest family movies we've had in years was Paddington, and particularly sequel Paddington 2. And I'd like to point out we've a special screening of Paddington, which is in Ukrainian, playing this Saturday. And of course, I don't know if you know who did the voice for Paddington in Ukrainian.
I believe it might have been the president.
It was the president. Who knew that we'd all know who he was then? So we've a free screening on there because, you know, community is community and we're all trying to do our best. So that would be very good. Yeah.
Okay, that's brilliant. Come here, before we wrap it up, they did fantastic at the Globes, and you're bringing it back.
Bringing it back. Coincidental timing, maybe. But yeah, and what a speech by Colin Farrell. I don't know if you saw it. It was absolutely brilliant. And it was delighted, he said. And Martin McDonagh actually said afterwards, he goes, but well done to Barry Keoghan for nearly stealing the movie, and Kerry Condon for actually stealing the movie. Brilliant. Get to see Jenny the donkey again. Now, I have to say, loads of people, it's been divisive. Many people have absolutely loved it like you and I did. Loads of people went, oh, what a horrible movie. But nobody thought it was boring. Nobody thought it was dull and nothing happened. So the
But it is Misted Monday. It is Misted Monday, and the Eclipse Cinema. Go see it if you haven't seen it.
For a $5. You can't go wrong for a $5.
That's the movies with Collie. Till next Thursday. Thanks.